and there's a new kid on the block whose name has been in everyone's mouth, and I'm here to talk about him too. I'm talking about Asad Bourbon by Lattafa. I want to show you something during this video that you might be interested to know. Something that I realized when I was buying my Asad Bourbon by Lattafa online, and then I thought would be interesting to bring to you. If you want to know, please keep on watching. Also, I have a big confession to make. A confession that just a few fragrance reviewers are strong and honest enough to make, and I'll make it today. If you want to know what it is, please stay tuned. But before my confession, let me tell you what I saw online when I was buying my Asad Bourbon by Lattafa. Something that I think is important that you know if you want to have a product in your shelf that looks very original. So, look at this picture here. Tell me if you see anything different. Have you noticed any difference between these two bottles and boxes? If you look at both, they have the same color, same name, it's the same product, but one little thing that is very important is missing there. You have the name Asad, then there is a line drawn underneath, and then below that line, one shows the name Lattafa and the other one doesn't. Well, at first I wasn't quite sure whether the one without the name Lattafa is or was really a Lattafa product. I had to dig into that matter and find out for myself. According to what I have read so far, Asad Bourbon is a Lattafa's product, is a Lattafa's perfume. However, some retailers do sell the same Asad Bourbon, which is a Lattafa product, however, without the brand. So it's up to you if you're okay having your shelf or wherever you store your fragrances a beautiful bottle, beautiful box without the name Lattafa. I just thought better to bring that up. That's all. But now let's talk about the fragrance itself, and here is where I'll be making my big confession. But before, let me just show you this cup here. I like it. It clicks in place. Did you hear that? Listen. It does click and stays in place firmly. And the atomizer is not the best one I've ever come across, but it is good nevertheless. The smell here is straight away, if I did not know the notes, I would tell you straight away that there is chocolate in it and vanilla as well. Yes, that is what I would say. Many YouTubers out there say that they cannot smell bourbon. Well, bourbon is a type of vanilla, which is also well known as Madagascar vanilla. So it's a very simple vanilla, which we all, I believe, have already sniffed it at some point in our lives. And I can smell a little bit in here. Not very strong though, but it's there. And it's funny though that Lattafa chose to call it Asad Bourbon, because you can smell it, but it's not that strong. I have here all the notes I wrote down in a piece of paper, and in order to read this, believe me or not, you never saw me wearing this, but I know I need it. I need glasses, otherwise I can't see properly in a close-up. So, reading here, I can see that top notes shows lavender, mirabelle plum, pink pepper. Mid notes, cocoa, nutmeg, davana. Base notes, bourbon, vanilla, amber, and vetiver. So here we go. Now, my confession is coming. My confession is here. As heard, there are many notes here. And my confession is, I do not know all of them. But why am I telling you this? Because all the time when I watch YouTubers reviewing their fragrances, they talk about the notes as if they knew every single one of them. And sometimes I wonder, am I the only one who does not know every single note? And then I realize that they just mention names and sometimes they don't know what they are talking about. Therefore, I thought better to make this confession. I don't know all the notes here, especially Davana. When I heard the name Davana, which was the first time just now when I bought this product, I thought Davana sounds like Havana, but can't be Havana because Havana is the capital of Cuba. Okay, so I had to go online and find out for myself. And according to Google AI, Davana provide us with a sharp herbal bitter green note with balsamic undertone. I didn't know that. Did you? I haven't ever seen, touched, squeezed, smelled Davana. Therefore, it was impossible for me to know exactly what to expect from this note. What I'm trying to say here is that if you hear someone talking about notes and being such an expert, that person perhaps does not know what he or she is really talking about. Therefore, what I normally do in this case is I go by what my nose gets. And following my nose, here I cannot smell any herbal or bitter green smell coming out of it. Plum also, I don't think that I would say I can smell it. However, though, what I can tell you for a fact is that here in the mid notes, it does say cocoa, nutmeg, and that I can capture in the air and the smell and the scent of this fragrance. Also lavender and bourbon vanilla. One thing that I would do here, if I could suggest Lattafa do, is to add wood as well. That would give more dryness to the scent and make it, in my opinion, even more masculine, sexy and enjoyable to wear. Longevity, it is a good one, not perfect because it is a eau de parfum. I was expecting more. It goes up to 7 or even 8 hours, however it does on the surface of your skin or in the fibers of your clothes. Up to 5 hours it has a good longevity, however after that, just if people are very close to you, almost sniffing directly your clothes and your skin. Even next day, if you haven't yet washed your clothes, if you go to it, bring close to your nose, the smell will be there. But of course, it's so subtle that if you go out wearing the same clothes, people will not smell it. Unless, once again, somebody comes and sniff your clothes and your skin. But is it a good fragrance? Would I suggest you buy? Yes, it is a good fragrance. It's not the typical Middle Eastern fragrance. It's much more on the sweet side. If you like sweet smells, go for it. I've heard some people saying it is more for the young people. I don't think it is. If you like it, enjoy it, because likes and dislikes, as always I say, vary from person to person. You know the drill by now. And remember, if you liked my review, don't forget to hit that like icon. Once again, it will cost you nothing, but it will help me here very much. And if you want to see me again, of course, subscribe to this channel, hit that bell notification icon, and it'll be a pleasure to see you again. But until that time, keep on looking after yourself, smelling good, because when you do so, the good people will approach you. But until then, as I normally say as well, goodbye.